In 1985, Steve Jobs left Apple and the company went like this, and Steve Jobs came back. And Howard Schultz left Starbucks, and Howard Schultz had to come back. And Michael Dell left Dell, and Dell had to come back. Now whether they re-clear on their own wise now or not is yet to be seen. But the point is that these founders, these visionary guys physically embodied the reason, the cause around which people showed up in the first place, and it reminds them why they come to work. Now, my fear is that one of my favorite organizations, an organization that I love, may be going through a split. United States of America. Maybe you've heard of it. It's important to study America, because like a lot of things that happen in America, everything there is exaggerated. So we can learn a lot from them and hopefully learn things that we can apply to ourselves. Something started to happen in 1947 that embodies this idea here. My grandparents' generation was called the greatest generation, that's what we called them, the greatest generation. Because here was a generation that went off to war to fight this great evil, and everybody was united and unified in some sense of common cause and purpose, and belief and trust was at an all-time high. Even those who didn't go off to war, they were back and they were buying war bonds, and everybody was one. And there were stories of young men who would commit suicide, they'd shoot themselves when they didn't get called to action. We call them the greatest generation. What do I get? I am Jenks, the unknown variable. They get the greatest generation, I get X. My parents are called the boomers. Why? Because their parents were doing it when they came back from war. They get the greatest generation. This sense of purpose, this sense of cause, this sense of why. But then they came back from war, and most of them had grown up during the Depression, and they wanted now to experience life a bit. They wanted to buy some stuff and sort of care about themselves a little more. They had been giving so much their entire lives. And so the 1950s came. And the 1950s were defined by responsibility. Going out there and giving the same kind of loyalty to your company as you gave to your country or to the cause. And we know what the 50s were like. Everybody gave, and you devoted your life to the company. The problem is, as we started to become more affluent and the wealth of the country started to grow, that sense of purpose and that sense of cause and that sense of fulfillment and that sense of trust and that sense of happiness didn't grow with it. And this is bad. This is confusing. And so, the 1960s we responded to it. And we thought, well, this responsibility thing didn't work, so let us try responsibility.